The Daily Cyber Briefing for Tuesday, the 14th of May. I'm Stephen Ridgway. It's an Apple Patch Day. Well, it was yesterday. On Monday, yesterday, Apple rolled out urgent security updates to pretty much everything Apple. 14 security vulnerabilities are being addressed. Basically, if you are running Apple devices, regardless of what they are, now is the time to prod them. Check that you are picking up updates, because there are updates out for a load of stuff, including some old stuff, if I remember correctly, from the article, because there have been some exploits aimed at older Apple devices recently. So I think some of that is getting swept up with this at the moment. Well, just when you think that you can park particular vulnerabilities in the "thank goodness that's all over" bucket, you have to remember that most organizations are really bad at patching stuff. Log4j shows no sign of fading away, and it has been spotted in 30% of exploits. So basically, if you are still running Log4j, and we're going back, its CVE number is 2021 44228. It remains like in that top tier of exploited vulnerabilities. Absolutely strongly recommend checking through any systems you've got, looking for where you can update these things, and updating them, because this one is way, way, way too old. So there's a lot of talk about using AI in cyber. So interesting to see that GPT-4o has been released, or is being released. Apparently faster, better, generally based. It's the results of a couple of years of quite hard work at OpenAI, or Microsoft now. So if you are using OpenAI's ChatGPT, might be worth having a look at the new one. Maybe it can write some more code for you. Hopefully it writes it a bit better this time. Maybe if you ask it questions, it makes up less. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes. But as we're all using it, I thought if you weren't aware of it, it's worth becoming aware of it now. And then finally from me today, Apple and Google have launched a cross-platform feature to detect unwanted Bluetooth tracking devices. Now, this is a very interesting area. There are occasions, there have been instances where people have used things like I forget these things. They look like they look a bit like a button that Apple sell, and I guess Google sell similar sorts of things. That you just put in your luggage, and you can always track where your luggage is, or where your car keys are, or whatever it might be. Very useful, but they have been used for surreptitiously tracking people by sneakily putting them into people's pockets or briefcases or whatever the hell it is people carry these days, which can be quite scary. So I know people who've been stalked. It's not very nice at all. It's very freaky, in fact. So Apple and Google have come together to come up with a method of detecting unwanted location trackers. Um, and for example, that you will, if you are being tracked by an unknown tracker, you will get a message such as an unknown tracker is traveling with you. Or if you're on, so if you're on Android, you get tracker is traveling with you, or an iOS, you'll get an something item found moving with you message. Now that sounds like a really good idea, because it does mean then that you are much less likely to be unaware that nefarious tracking tools are being used. However, the other side of it is that, well, one of the reasons why you might want to use these trackers is in case your stuff gets nicked. I don't know whether that was part of the original use case for these trackers, or it certainly has been successfully used, and not in the recent past. So, but that won't work anymore, because the thief will be alerted to the fact that you put a tracker in whatever it is they've just nicked. So, bit of a trade-off. Yeah, let's just see where this one's going. I'm on the fence over this one. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. I don't know. I think their usefulness in finding this stuff, if it has wandered off on its own, is a much more common use case than trying to protect people from being stalked. But yeah, the consequence of being stalked is pretty horrible. So, yeah, interesting one. If you want to discuss this, do feel free. Anyway, that's enough from me for today. Hope you all have a good Tuesday, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow morning.